119th Open Championship got underway here on this famous old course at 7:15 this morning. And what magical weather we had, a bright sun shining, just a light breeze, which later in the day did tend to get up a bit. Let's start this report with a look at the man who won the championship here when it was last held at St Andrews in 1984. It is, of course, Seve Ballesteros. Here he is, finishing off his round today, putting for a birdie on the 18th. Splendid. And that brought Seve into the clubhouse with a 71, 1 under par. But there were better scores being done by the early men out. 35-year-old Midlander Martin Poxon, he was in the first group out at 7:15, came home with a splendid 68. And that was equalled a little later on by Christy O'Connor Jr., the Ryder Cup hero from last year, now 41 years old. He too had a 68. And then the Australian Ian Baker Finch, who led the Open here in 1984 for 3 rounds. He too came in with a 68. Now what about the other Australian, Greg Norman, who of course won the Open over on the other side of Scotland at Turnberry in 1986 and was involved in the playoff at Royal Troon last year. Now Norman was putting together quite a remarkable score. Here's his card, and going into the 15th he's had nothing but 3s and 4s and he's 5 under par. Let's join him playing his second to the par 4 15th.
Clearly doesn't think a lot of that, and that's why he's held it out too much into the breeze, and from relatively short distance on this, perhaps the easiest of the closing holes with the exception of the 18th. But as Frank was saying, 5 under and lovely start. And the man regarded, regardless of what the statistics say, the Sony World Rankings, they still feel this man is, when it really matters, is the best in the world. Interesting shot there. You saw off the upslope the club digging in slightly, and look at that. And we go to the first tee in the moment that certainly the older generation will be waiting for. A lovely moment. One of the charming aspects of championship golf is the return of the heroes. The man regarded by many as being the creator of the size and the stature of the Open Championship over here 30 years ago. That's perfect. That's terrific. And something better. That was Greg Norman holding from, well, certainly 5 feet for a par to keep at 5 under. So 2 Australians at the head of affairs at the moment. Faldo for a birdie at 13. And we saw that great second shot off the bank. And there, straight in the middle, takes him to 4 under. And at the moment, the cream moving to the top. Greg Norman at the 16th. Oh, and that's...
It was a good idea to use an iron, wasn't it?
Now it was, yes. Well, here's a man who, in some respects, was in the wilderness a little bit. He'd begun almost to think that he wasn't a good putter. That was a sort of the weak part of his game, and was talking himself into being just an average putter until he got this, well, ladies zebra. No, it's a lady one because it's got a blue handle on it. Downwind, that putt. And suddenly that's, well, it's not about 4 foot past, a bit longer than he is, or he's longer than the putt. Just short of the principal's nose. Shot of about 170 yards to the pin, and that is not that good. Half a club wrong, but on the wrong layer. But it's Craig Parry now. This to go to 7 under. It's not quite possible to tell, but that looks like it was right in the middle of the hole. Maybe a fraction off to the right, but he stays at 6 under, 1 ahead of Greg Norman.
2 Australians at the top of the leaderboard at this moment. Craig Parry, 6 under, and Greg Norman, the Open champion at Turnberry over on the west coast of Scotland in 1986. And then 2 strokes off the current leader, Martin Poxon, Christy O'Connor Jr., Ian Baker-Finch, all of those in with 68s this morning, and then Nick Faldo with 5 to play.
So Woosnam for his par. Safely in the middle, stays at 3 under. 4 holes left.
Now back at the 16th, Greg Norman. This to save a par. He hit his second shot just a little bit short on the green, but he's holding another good one. He made one at the last hole for par, and Greg Norman 5 under par on the first round.
And now over on the left, Craig Parry. Craig Parry, the tiny in height, but not in physique, very strong man. Craig Parry at 6 under, leader by 1. And the bank in front of him quite high. He's gone at it with a 3 or 4 iron. Oh, that is an incredible golf shot. I really thought for a moment that he was going to go to 8 under. What an amazing run of figures this fella's had. And Ian just changing up a club, the wind freshening. Sun not quite so bright, a little cooler out there. About a 6 or 7 iron for Woosnam. And he hit it quite leisurely. And it's a beauty. 7 irons handed back, and the putter out of the bag.
And now this is for a birdie from Faldo. This would be his 4th birdie out of 5 holes on the inward half here at the old course at St. Andrews. He's let it go left just a touch. He's about 15, 16 inches beyond the hole. Shouldn't be too much of a problem tapping this in, but can't take anything for granted. Slipped by a little further than that, actually. It's maybe about a 2-footer. He's going to finish. Nick Faldo, who is given his notes for this course by the late Gerald Micklem, and he says he's committed them to memory, and they're ever so helpful still. This for a par. He's got it. Faldo remains at 4 under par, 2 shots out of the lead.
Ian Woosnam then for a 3 at 15. Oh, completely misread that. So Ian marks.
And there was Greg Norman and coming in, and Arnold Palmer going out, having a brief exchange on this double green. And now
There are not many easy putts ever in a championship, but this is possibly the most straightforward putt he's had. It's slightly uphill, and you can almost hit it firm and straight. Well, There you are. He almost got a 2, but he certainly got a 3, and he increases his lead at 7 under by 2 shots over Norman.
Back at the 15th tee, Nick Faldo. Faldo has gotten himself right to the top of the board here. Very close to it, 4 under par. And he likes it. And well, he should. A little bit of a uphill hump there to contend with on his second, but in fine shape.
Craig Parry elects to take the 1 iron, just disturbed for a moment by the gallery coming through. There are bunkers down the center of this fairway and an out of bounds down the right. It's fairly sensible, I would think. Good policy. 1 iron. And he's played out to the left, but played well short of that awkward ridge that so many have floundered on, or foundered on. There's the 3 great bunkers that are famous, Principal's Nose, and Deacon Syme, the little one that catches you if you sneak by the 3 big ones. Now Woosnam with his 1 iron. Does he put that down the right hand? Not many elect to go down the right-hand side. Look, he's just past the bunker, only by inches to the left. That's good now.
Norman's second to the 17th. Oh, a beautiful shot. Absolutely dropped dead on the green. Very high shot from Norman there, and the green held marvelously, and he's got a reasonable birdie opportunity here at the 17th.
Here's the leaderboard. 7 under, Craig Parry, the young Australian, with 3 to play. And then Greg Norman just 2 behind, the other Australian. So the Aussies right up there at the moment, doing well. And then 3 strokes off the current lead, Poxon, O'Connor Jr., Baker Finch, Nick Faldo, the champion 3 years ago, and Michael Allen.
But this is Norman, and this is for a birdie. This is to go 6 under par at 17. He's got to hurry. Now, that was not a good effort there. He's left it about 18 inches short, 20 inches short. We've seen some short ones missed here.
Faldo then, 4 under and putting through a little basin there. Awkward one to judge because it just ran away a little bit there at the end.
Well, this is Norman trying to tap in for a par 4. He's done it. Norman remains 5 under, 1 hole to play, but what a refreshing first round in a major championship this is going to be.
Back to 16, Ian Woosnam. Good second shot here, up over the shoulder. And has he read it right? Yes, he has, and it's a beauty. Woosnam goes to 4 under.
Now there's the view from behind the 18th, the majestic clubhouse of the RNA in the distance. And Greg Norman, the #1 player in the world, on the tee. 5 under par. Doesn't seem to like it all that much, but it's a big one. Look at this one. It is going to be very close up here. It's not far from the green at all. Monumental drive by Greg Norman.
Now back to the 16th. Craig Parry, who is 7 under. This for a par. Oh, and he's dropped his first shot of the day. Back to 6 under, in the lead by 1. Now Faldo at the 16th, his second shot. He seems happy with it. He was begging it to stay on that line, and it certainly did. Carried that awkward ridge, some of the pin placings very close to ridges.
Now we have Greg Norman with this very, very tricky little second shot here at 18. It'll be very interesting to see how he chooses to try and negotiate this shot. And that's about all he could do with it. Not bad, not bad, but he's got himself now about a 15-footer for his birdie attempt.
Now we'll just leave him for a moment and watch Ian Woosnam. Second shot at 17. Oh, and he's banged it down just as Greg Norman did, and it's moving in closer, ever closer to the flag. A beautiful shot from Woosnam. Now Craig Parry coming in from the center of the fairway. And you see the wind blowing those little trees. It's coming off the player's right, which helps if you're going to draw the ball. You can get out away from the bunker and bring it back on a curve, just as Woosnam did. Such a tiny target. Oohs, nas. Did he fire it away, out safely to the right, and forget to bring it back?
Well, this is Norman for birdie at 18. Bang! Right in. 6 under par. 66 from Norman. Tied for the lead in the championship. What a wonderful, wonderful beginning for the world's #1, Greg Norman.
Well, they say it's easier now with the tarmac road where it used to be gravel and railway cinders, but I'm not so sure about that if it takes a hard bounce. He's hooting the face of this pitching wedge here to try and knock the ball low to the bank. Oh. Well, as he knocked it into the bank, and yes, there it is. Died it on the bank and down onto the road now. Well, we've seen several disasters here already in the opening day. The 16th, Nick Faldo. Great shot right at the flag. He's putting back down the green. Oh, so close. It didn't turn a hair. Faldo at 4 under. You'll have heard that massive roar from the 18th green. And the leaderboard, Greg Norman with that lovely 3 at the last. 6 under along with his fellow Australian Craig Parry. Nice. Martin Poxon, Christy O'Connor Jr., Ian Baker Finch, all with 68s, and others still on the course at 4 under.
Well, Craig Parry wasn't one of the better shots he played, although it was a very difficult shot. He now elected to play the putter, which we saw the current Open champion Mark Calcavecchia do earlier. The only trouble with this is this grass on this bank has actually been grown quite long, so he's got to hit it very hard and make sure he gets it up, which he's done. A splendid putt. It's gone 6 feet by, but he'd be pleased with that.
Yes, he'll be quite delighted with that, but at the same time most annoyed with himself for the second shot. The last thing you can do here is over club when you've elected to go right. You've got to over club if you come in over that bunker on the left, but he was wide enough to have hit much less. Now Woosnam with a great chance to improve his lot, certainly over one of his playing partners. Oh, and it just shaved on the low side. He's becoming dead-eye Dick with that lady's putter, there's no question. What a confidence is given him. His weakest link would appear to have gone. Nice 4, he stays at 4 under, and we've seen the 18th is almost within range. He might even hit the green.
Now Nick Faldo behind on the tee here at 17, 461 yards away. That's going a little bit left. It's not as good a line as Hoax, but not bad. It's going to be on the left-hand side of the fairway. And he's got to either bring it around the bunker or hit it over the top like both Woosnam and Norman have done.
Well, he dropped a shot at 16, and he's dropped a couple here at 17. So having been 7 under, back to 4.
This shot is not unmindful of the shot he hit to the final hole of the U.S. Open Championship. Same sort of distance, same sort of angle. We think it's a 2-iron. He's gone left, apparently.
He's set it off on the clock as you're supposed to do, and probably doesn't believe you can get as close as Norman did. In fact, he will not. And that may be a wise decision too, because he can come in straight at the Valley of Sin. Craig Parry. Now he moves the ball left to right. And here it comes. Into a little valley, not the Valley of Sin, but a good spot.
Greg, everyone wants to make a good start in the major championships, but how important was that round to you?
Well, every round's important, of course, but you know, when we teed off this morning, the wind was blowing in an complete opposite direction of what we've been practicing in, and I had a feeling it was going to do that. So, you know, I just said, well, you played here enough in the Dunhill Cups and other tournaments to know what this golf course plays like, so I had to take a few different lines, and I played well all day.
Your failure to make good starts in the major championships, particularly Augusta, had that become a problem to your confidence?
No, not at all. I don't have a problem with my confidence. You're the guys that keep reminding me about it, but I don't have it. That doesn't worry me. You know, as long as you know that you play well enough and keep fighting back and get yourself in contention, so be it.
This is Nick Faldo now. This is his 3rd shot from the left of the 17th and back, and there it comes. Oh, and what a nice shot. That was a beauty. He's left himself about 6 feet, and it's a tricky one. We've seen it missed quite a few times, but still a great opportunity for par 4 from Faldo.
Now, out to the 13th hole to Michael Allen, and this is a marvellous effort by him at 5 under after 12, but look at the length of that. Oh, I don't believe that. 13, that must have been 80. You can tend to exaggerate lengths of putts, but it's the biggest greens in the world, so it's quite likely it was 70 yards anyway. 6 under. And he can jump for joy. And we move down to 18. Ian Woosnam. Now, he is 2 shots behind. He's hanging about a while. Maybe somebody just driven from the first. Long evenings up at this part of Scotland allows late tea times, which is just as well. Now, this to get within 1 shot. No, it's going away. On these huge sloping greens, there are points where you imagine the ball's going to turn because it always used to. But you can be just a few degrees out and it doesn't come back at all. So it's a 4 for Ian Woosnam and another round of 68.
And this is Faldo, and this is for his 4 at 17. He's missed it. We've seen that putt missed time and again here today, and everyone seems to miss it on the left side. They seem to be finding a barrel there that isn't there. That will disturb Nick. But he did give himself an awful lot to do with that indeed well thought out second shot, but still makes it a tough par 4 out of it. So Faldo's going to drop one here at 17. And he does, and so he falls back to 3 under par. 3 shots behind the leader, Greg Norman.
218 to Craig Parry, who led for so long today. Great consolation if he were to get this. Now he's not even looking like getting it. So he's a round of 68. At one stage he was 7 under. .68 to the Australian. A good start that could have been a great start.
Oh, now Faldo, still smarting from that 1 over par 5 at the 17th. Would love to get one back here and finish with 68. See if he can do it. Well, that's straight at it. And quite a long way as well. Beautiful drive from Faldo, right in line with the flag.
Mike Allen at the 14th. And there shows the change of conditions. What a round he's making, having now. You saw that huge putt a few moments ago.
And it's a beauty, and he's made it. He's made it. An eagle 2. Nick Faldo eagles the last hole. What a shot. Classically played right through the Valley of Sin, bump and run, and into the hole. Storybook ending to the first round for Nick Faldo. What more can you say?
Mike Allen on the 14th here hit 2 excellent shots through this, just through this green. Oh, he won't be unhappy with that. Look, just getting set for another birdie.
So Greg Norman in with a 66. Mike Allen with 5 to play. American, of course, also 6 under. And Nick Faldo with an exceptional shot at the 18th. Chipping in for an eagle 2. Brings himself to 5 under, a 67 today.
Steadying himself. Safely home. Good putt.
7 under and the equivalent of a birdie every other hole.
Arnold Palmer at the 11th. Coming down the hill for a 2. He birdied the last hole, and would you believe it, he did it again. Pot a few more of those and we'll be looking for some greasy 2000.
Michael Allen here on 17. He's got a shot, I would say, of a 5 iron, and that would be maximum to avoid going onto the dreaded road.
That's another lovely golf shot. Lovely shot. Rolls round, and he can do no wrong today. And that's just about the last of them, certainly the major problems overcome. And this is looking to be, well, he could be maybe even a couple of shots clear at the end of today.
Nick, a good solid round and then a very, very spectacular finish.
Yeah, that's yeah, I was getting quite wide from back there because it wasn't I hit a 2-wood off the tee thinking I'd stay further back and leave myself, you know, full shot over that, you know, tight pin, but got too close, and I thought, well, I better try one of these true Scottish run-ups, and that was a good read, left to right, right to left, and in. That was, yeah, that's a real bonus, obviously.
That's the old traditional way to finish here.
Oh, well, that's, yeah, I don't know about the way to finish, but it's the way to play those pitch and runs, yeah.
Rest of the round, felt good about your game?
Yeah, I was there or thereabouts all the time, which was good, and it's simple as that. So if I can keep that up, I'll be happy.
Huge borrow from left to right, but he's just, in fact, had the line right just to hit it a touch too hard. And we'll have that for his par in a minute. And I suspect if you'd said, well, you can play 3 shots and we'll put you 1.5 feet below the hole in 10 minutes ago when he teed off, he just accepted that. Peter Jacobsen at the 14th. Elects the overland route, which must be an unusual one for him from off the putting surface. And his extraordinary round of golf continues. 7 birdies, 2 bogeys. So, torn championship leader, Michael Allen. Formality, one dare say, stays at 7 under and only the 18th, 354 yards, wind behind to come. Beautifully done, and a very good recovery after the cultural shock of a very short putt being missed at the previous green.
To the 18th. Michael Allen, the leader, second shot. No, has he hit that hard enough? Oh, he's hit it too hard. My word, little. That was a strange shot. It sounded a bit funny, almost as if he perhaps thinned it a little bit. Half topped it, sculled it. Edgy, a bit nervous. He's 7 under, 2 putts for a 65. That's mighty good playing.
Jack Nicklaus on the 17th.
I think Jack twigged that one. I think he's got that out in the right spot if it doesn't chase too far. Look at that, you see? Knock it down the right, let the wind and the slopes bring it in, pitch it short. As long as it's running forward, you've got a chance of it curving round to the hole. So when you get greedy and try and fly it into the green, that the problems start. The 18th now, and Michael Allen. That's a good 4 feet short. More than that, probably.
It'd be so nice if it would go in. Huge swing up there. He misread it completely. Left about 2.5 feet now for a par. Ah, he read it beautifully. Listen to that roar. You'd think that he had won the championship.
Sam Torrance. The 15th, and Sam Torrance plays his second shot, birdied the 14th, and look at this, Sam making a great run.
And that was well played. However, that is not his third shot, that's his 4th shot. His tee shot was in thick rough, and he looks like he might drop 2 shots.
No, Palmer. What a cheer if this goes in for a 3 and around a 72. Has he hit it? Has he given it enough? No. We've seen so many putts from behind this flag. Just slow up. Now, will he tap it in or will he wait to hole out last? I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't wait to hole out last.
Back to the 15th, where Sam Torrance played a lovely second shot. And a putt now of about 10 feet or so. Had a birdie at the 14th. Nice roll at that. So consecutive birdies for Torrance and an excellent start for the Scot. Peter Jacobsen struggling along here. Played 5 shots to this point. Well, he's come out of it with a 6, but it takes him off his share of the lead. He was 6 under, now goes back to 4. That leaves Greg Norman and Michael Allen joint leaders at 6 under.
Player now for a 3. This for 72. You little monkey. What a way to finish. He was dropping strokes early on. He was out in 38. He comes home in 2 under par, 34. The spirit still burns, the competitive spirit. Now Palmer for his 4. This for a 73. Ooh, Arnold. It disappeared. Well, I wonder if he'd taken the 73 before he started. He'd offered him a 73.
Not too bad for a man of 60. Let's check now on how other past Open champions did today. Starting with Lee Trevino, who was champion in 71 and 72, he had a 69, 3 under. And the defending champion, Mark Calcavecchia, 1 under. Tom Watson, who's won the Open 5 times, level par, 72. So was Sandy Lyle, who won the Open at Sandwich in 1985. Tom Weiskopf, now he was champion back in 1973 at Royal Troon, 1 over. And Bob Charles, the oldest of them all, 54 years old, 1963 champion, 4 over. Now a final look at the first round leaderboard. The 2 66s at the top there, Greg Norman and Michael Allen, and then Nick Faldo, trying for his second Open championship, just 1 stroke behind. A lot of people on 68, just 2 strokes off the lead. More of them here, including the American PGA champion, Payne Stewart, and Sam Torrance finishing today with a fine round of 68. So there are all the people who are mainly in contention at the end of this first day. Let's just finish with another look at that extraordinary second shot of Faldo's at the 18th hole, because on Sunday we might be looking back and saying this was the shot that set him on the way to the title.